What is going on, chums, and welcome back to our continuing Celebrating Ease series, where today we are on the fourth title in the series as Adol reverse moonwalks into frame like some kind of backwards Michael Jackson. We are on Ease Memories of Celceta, which is at this point the fourth canonical game in the series, but it is a remake of the original, well, one of the original four Ease 4s. There were two that Falcom farmed out to other companies, basically created the scenario and had Tonkin House and Hudson Soft make a game each, which were The Dawn of Ease and Mask of the Sun. And then they decided Mask of the Sun was closer to their preferred storyline. Oh, excuse me. Mask of the Sun was closer to the scenario they'd made for it. And Dawn of Ease, which was the Hudson Soft game, I think, deviated a little bit too much, so they kind of relegated that one to not canon. But apparently, I haven't played either of the original games. Apparently, Mask of the Sun was the weaker of the two games, and the fan base was less than impressed with that decision, I gather. But in 2012, they remade it themselves as Ease Memories of Celceta, which is what this is. You can probably call this the beginning of what we now know of as modern Ease. This is the first of what fans refer to as the party combat system, or the party system, as hopefully we'll see why as we get into this. I remember this one being quite slow to get started as well, but let's go check it out. There's a gold rush going on. And there's a great forest nearby. There he goes. Reverse moonwalking out of shot again. There's a great forest nearby that is completely unmapped. And people are just going missing because they're idiots. They're not Adol Christin. Can't believe it's been 5 years since Celceta came under Roman control. There's those pesky Romans again. Who cares? Nothing's gonna change. Not with that attitude. Yeah, that sounds like a government. Alright. Wait, hang on. Here's the new governor. Looks like a Roman officer, and a pretty hot one. Oh, now he's interested. I wish they'd at least end the war with Altago, which I believe is where the next game is set. Or is it? No, East 7 is Altago, I think. Couldn't agree more there. Feels like they're just dragging their feet at this point. So yeah, there's like two powers in the world that are at war. This is all kind of background dressing, to be honest. Boof! You don't treat Adol Christin adventurer like that. Just gonna have a little nap there in the rain. Oh, he's got a case of the JRPG whatchamacalls it, where you forget your name. Amnesia, that's the one. Anyway, I'll shut up now. And we're back, and Adol's crawled into the local tavern. Doesn't remember anything. Aren't you an interesting young man? Not really, if he doesn't even know who he is. I can't look after you just because you say you've lost your memories. Yeah, you're on your own, kid.
Adol? Is that you, Adol?
Oh yeah, we've got some voice acting. It's been a little while since I played this, so I've forgotten bits of it, but that is not Dogi.
There you are. I finally found you.
It says silver-haired man, but in the game it looks like he's got blue hair and he's big. He's not Dogi, he's just this game's Dogi replacement. His name is Durin.
I thought I told you to let me know if you managed to make it back alive.
Who's Adol?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, not everything is voiced. Well, very little is voiced by the looks of it. As I say, it's been a while since I played it. Hispani is... Have a guess. Spain. So it sounds like Adol wandered into the forest, lost his memory, and now doesn't know who he is.
All right.
Honesty is the best policy. Oh, now they've got beer, that'll make things better. So I will say at this point, this is probably one of my least favourite games in the series. That's not to say it's a bad game, it's still a good time. But everything's kind of average. Story's kind of okay. Gameplay's decent. The music's not particularly memorable. The world's okay. There are much better games in this series, but this is the first game in a new gameplay system. So, you know, it needs a bit of time to bed in. There are 4 more games that build off of this one. 7, 8, and... no, 3 more. 7, 8, and 9. And, what was 7? I think 7 might have been the first party combat one, actually. I'm confusing myself. Nope, genuinely can't remember which is which. But anyway, 8 and 9 also build off of this template and are much better. Let's go with that. Durin's heard enough. Now, if you watched the Felghana one, when they had a problem with the mine and sent Adol in, I said, oh, that sounds like it happens a lot. This is why. And I played this game before Felghana because I played them in story order, which is not release or numerical order. And also the fact that they've remade certain games as well kind of screws with the order. So Felghana is Ys 3, or at least a remake of Ys 3, but it takes place after Celceta, which is Ys 4. Don't ask. Ys 10 is coming out soon, and it's like in between Ys 2 and 3, I think, in the storyline. It's going to sound really useful. And part of the game is exploring the forest. Well, a large part of it is exploring the forest, as we'll get into. But it's also restoring Adol's memories by finding stuff out there. We're not going to bother, we're just going to run around. And because Adol is an incurable goody two-shoes, obviously we're going to go and help people. Just gliding down them steps. Needs to be jittering down the slope. One thing I will say about this game is it does have very nice artwork. And you can do this all over the place, which makes getting around a little bit easier. But it's better in Ease 8. Everything's better in Ease 8. So this is our new Roman governor. And if you're very diligent when you play Ease 8, you can meet her again. Governor General Griselda. Now, that's a terrible attitude to have when people might be losing their lives in that mine. Head Myron and a few others got trapped in the room the monsters came out of. 3 people left. I don't think that guy on the right of the screen is going to be doing much saving of miners. Yep, they only seem to hire the best. So I believe this is one of Adol's memories we're going to go and get. Yep, there we go. Let's go get our memories, one of our memories back. So you find a load of orbs like this out in the forest as well that help to restore Adol's memories as you go through the game.
I couldn't believe my ears when I heard that you repelled one of Sis's knives with just your sword. She never misses.
I honor the skill and courage you have displayed by crossing the territory of the beasts.
Yeah, he might not look like much, but his skill with a sword is really something. You'll have to fight me one-on-one sometime.
And you get extra HP for doing so, which is always nice. And that is a future party member. Sword, was I a swordsman? Felt an uncontrollable urge to get involved. Yeah, he feels that a lot. Excuse me, I'm a local amnesiac and I'd like to help. Guess we'll just head in. We don't even have a sword. Should we have spoken to Durin first? Maybe. No, guess not. Guess we're just heading in. Like I say, it's been a while since I played it, so... Now, one thing I do miss going from Felgarna to this is the jump button.
Hold on.
It's going to help, of course. Calm down and stay back. He's an Esper! Wait, no. He's a do-gooder. Now we get a sword. It's all muscle memory. Right, see, we have party members now. I think that's auto-equipped, but let's check. Oh no, it hasn't. It's just on his back for no reason. There you go, we can attack. Wait for the little flash to get that. So this is weird. It's the first time we've seen someone else running around with that, alright? It's a save point, Doran. I saved my game. It doesn't look like it's been buried there for that long. I mean, it's uncovered in a mine, in a tunnel, leading straight to the entrance. Let me guess, tutorial pop-up. Yeah, there we go. Now, because I'm still scarred from our Ease 1 video... Oh, it just heals you, okay. Can you just save anywhere? Yeah, you can. That's my saves from last time I played it. Are they monsters, Doran, or are they just moles that you want to murder? So Doran's just standing there like a dummy so he can't switch. Oh yeah, and every now and then you like proc skills that you can equip. Rising Edge. It's on LT and B. Let's put it on LT and A. And then we'll use it. It's a strange thing to say to another person. So basically those little petally things around the battle UI in the bottom right corner, you spend those to use your skills. There's 10 of them, so each one is 10 SP, and you can see our skill on A uses 10, so if I use one, it'll take one of those petals down just below. Yeah, you have to use a charged attack to regain SP. Otherwise you'll use skills and then you'll never get to use them anymore. But yeah, shoulder buttons, LB and RB to switch between, and then you can fight as Duran instead. Let's see if he has any skills. He's got one. That's pretty nice.
Leave it to me.
So it's probably going to tell us now why we need to switch characters. And that's why. There are 3 attack types in the game. I think it's, yeah, slash, strike or pierce. So we'll get another character later that can deal pierce attacks. And I think you end up getting 2 of each in the whole game. So if you're attacking something and you see blue damage numbers, then that means you're using the wrong type. If you see white numbers, it just means that it doesn't really matter which you hit it with. And if you see yellow, you're using the right one. and then you can view them by clicking in the left stick.
Find an opening. Let's get him.
So if I try and attack these things, look, blue numbers. Hit them, yellow numbers. Honey. Blush, you're so thoughtful. Forever hold your peace in death. I didn't even read that tutorial pop up, I'm going to be honest. I'll figure it out, I'm sure, as we go. I'm a lot more diligent about reading tutorials when I'm just playing a game myself. But when I'm making a video, I just get impatient. More honey potion. That's a big guy.
Hey, Bonza, you okay?
Sancho! I think my leg's broken!
Stop whining, or the commander's gonna yell at us when he gets back.
These two are like the two soldiers in Tales of Vesperia. Useless. No, we probably should save their lives. Basically get a limit break when you're yellow.
Here I go.
And that was Durin's one, because I forgot I was in control of Durin.
Come on now.
Amnesiac, do good a companion, that about says it. Now, what is Griselda gonna say when they come crawling back out the entrance having done nothing?
Leave it to me.
Right, let's switch back to Sword Boy. You'll see the map filling out as we go, which is annoying in this game, because I did pretty much everything in this game when I played it, and I got to something like 97% map completion, and I have no idea what else I needed to do to properly fill out the map, because everywhere I could see looked completely filled out. So one thing I do like about the party system is that you're not just stuck with one kind of style of attacking the whole time. You do get to switch it up, and you're switching up quite a lot as well, because as you can see it likes throwing in mixed groups of enemies at you, and there's just no point just hacking and slashing at enemies that aren't really taking the damage. Plus everyone plays quite differently, so it's quite fun to switch up. I tend to prefer the Pierce characters when I get a chance. Especially as they tend to be ranged as well, which is quite fun. Oh, I need to switch, don't I? Is that picking a lock or is that just kicking it open? They put a key to a locked door in a locked chest. I mean, I'm not mind security or anything, but that seems like a stupid idea to me. And who locked this door if there's still people in here? Does that mean people escaped, but then they locked the door behind them and left their comrades to die? Because that's pretty dark. Oh yeah, that's another thing I completely forgot about. Flash move and flash guard is another thing I like about these games. Flash move speeds you up for a bit, so basically if you do a dodge just as an enemy's about to hit you, you speed up and they slow down a bit.
Leave it to me.
Let's try and do a flash guard. Yeah, flash guard makes all your attacks critical. Completely forgot about that. That's really nice. So yeah, a lot of the game is doing that. Either flash guard or flash dodge to give yourself an advantage over your enemies. Again, that's something that's in Ease 8 and I think is better in that game as well. But Ease 8 in general is just a better game. When we get to that one, you're going to have to put up with me gushing about that game a lot because I love it. This guy looks serious. Aldo Voss.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think he's been doing alright. Obtain SP with charge attacks, use skills to charge the extra gauge and then unleash an extra skill. That's your basic gameplay flow. Now it doesn't look like it matters who hits this because we're just getting white numbers out of it. Trying to get a flash guard in, a flash dodge, but can't seem to time it right. There we go, got a flash moving. Doesn't last for long though. Good work, Duran. That extra gauge up a bit. Ow. It would look like we're going to get a... Oh, there we go. Let's see if that's enough to finish him. Sure is. So yeah, I feel like the bosses aren't the best in this game. These bosses generally are really good. They have like, they at least have like a mechanic or two. But the bosses in this just feel a little bit spongy and simple. Another reason why it's not really one of my favourites in the series. Let's be boastful, Adol. And here's our mining pals. Just a passing philanthropist. Yes, actually, literally did. What kind of ruin is this? Well, that seems like this happens like often. It's just, what's wrong with these people? Yeah, it's fine. We've killed everything on the way in. You should be safe. Could there be another memory for Adol in here? I guess not. The statue of a winged person. The game certainly loved their winged people. For reasons that are yet to be revealed. A violent, intense headache. Well, getting that memory back is surely just going to confuse him more than anything else. Silver Wing, so we can exit dungeons without having to run back. Yeah, calm down, man. Relax. Is it an items artifact? Okay, I guess we just... There we go. Oh, it lets you walk between monuments. It doesn't teleport you out of the whole dungeon. Yeah, so these things are quick. Fast travel, that's the word I was looking for. They're fast travel points. Sure did, Duran. Red-haired youth. Everyone's always on about his hair, like there's no one else in the world with red hair. What's all this commotion? Yeah, you useless damn soldiers that we had to go in and rescue. Step into my office, said the spider to the fly. Nah, she's alright. Doesn't offer a seat though. I recently heard of a mysterious island called Asteria in the east, long cloaked in violent impenetrable winds. Yeah, that was him. Not that he can remember it was him. Well, he should be. That's where he lost all his memories. Man's literally just walked out there with no memories, and she's like, go back in. Now, if I remember correctly, you bring her back. You come back to her when you get like certain thresholds on your map completion, and she gives you money, if I remember correctly. I wouldn't mind 30 million gold. Everybody's obsessed with Griselda. Oh, here comes Commander Leo, the fool of a man.
I am the great Leo, commander of the Celcetan army and the finest swordsman around.
That's a lie.
Don't you start getting cocky just because you took down a little monster while I was away. If I'd been here, I would have defeated it in a tenth of the time. With such skill and grace, you would have been left speechless.
Yeah, but you weren't here. This man's a jackass. I mean, that's obvious immediately.
Oh boy.
Ah, back on the beer, I see, lads. Lads. Gonna accept it, of course. That's surprising. I thought you said you knew Adol. Ah, Duran's alright. He's not so bad. Oh wait, I thought you said there wasn't a map. It's just a blank piece of parchment. I've played a JRPG before, Duran. I know what a quest board is, damn it. What is this? Trails? And she's standing right there. He's not the Luca the waitress. Maybe. Well, she's to milk a wild animal. Weirdo. Yep, definitely a weirdo. Well, no, we've currently mapped 0.8%, which is not great, I guess. Ah, yes, the Wepslar. Yes, tutorials is still very straightforward stuff. Finally, right, we're going to skip through some of this stuff. Because we just want to get into the action. A little overlook over the forest itself. Vast sea of trees, not a sea of thieves. I think in Japan this game's called something like foliage ocean in Celceta or something. So yeah, that'll explain kind of how big the forest is and why nobody's mapped it. Look at that, 0.8% on our map. It's terrible. There's a big tree. And a big river somewhere. Now I think if you were just guessing you would have just drawn a line rather than like craggly shoreline and everything, but I'm not a cartographer. So we're going to get going. So we're actually redoing this part of the video because Super Anti-Spyware popped up, kicked me back to Windows and then corrupted the rest of the recording. So I started editing it and it just was gone basically. So we're doing this from the trading post onwards. It's all new. Thanks Super Anti-Spyware, I should really disable you. But anyway, you can bring up your map with a click of the right stick. And back button or view, I guess it is. I'm using an Xbox One controller. Brings up your mini map of the area you're in. It's just telling us, like, filling out our map completion will give us rewards from Griselda. So that's our mini map opened up, and then that's our main map. You can flick between explored points of interest or sort of uncovered points of interest with the D-pad, move around with the stick, tilt it with the right stick and zoom out a bit, which is handy because it's quite a big map. This isn't a crazily long game. It's probably about sort of 20-hour range. If you want to fill out the whole map, it's going to take longer because it's really annoying trying to fill out the map. I thought I went everywhere, and then when I got to the last boss I was like, I think my final was something like 98.3 or something stupid like that, and I couldn't even, looking at the map, I couldn't even figure out where I was missing, which is very annoying. Here comes General Leo again. Or Commander Leo. Who cares, he's a moron. So Griselda's ordered him to do the same thing. But all he's going to do is go and get himself into trouble, and we're going to find him out there every now and then just being a giant moron.
Fools! Yes, sir!
Excuse you, sir.
Come on.
Nope, sure don't, Darren. Onwards. So I'm going to wrap up the video soonish, but I want to get out there and actually get into the forest and just see a little bit of the forest. It's another monument. Always go and hug a monument when you see it, because then you can use it as a fast travel point. So this isn't actually the forest yet, this is the Beast Plains. All these monsters are literally right outside. More tutorial pop-ups, there are a lot. I mean, it's the beginning of the game, it's going to happen. But it's just telling you kind of what the general flow of the game is. If you manage to hit an enemy in the air, you'll do more damage and you get more gold, more SP and more life energy back. If you finish with a skill, you get half of the SP back that skill required and get some health out of it. And then if you kill an enemy using the attack it's weak against, it will drop more stuff. And then Flash Guard and Flash Move we kind of went through in the mine, and then this is telling you what enemies drop: gold, HP, and crafting materials. Unless you're planning on maxing stuff out, you don't really need to worry too much about that. There's also like nodes for materials out in the world like that. So our map, we're at 2%. Oh, I completely forgot about that. You can zoom the camera out a bit on this version. The right stick. So you can see we're just getting quite damage numbers out of these guys, so they don't have a specific attack type they need to be hit with. Which is something the game kind of does a bit more. The longer it goes, the more you find enemies that you don't need to worry about that. Kind of feels like the game bails out of its own idea after a while. And I think some people are probably happy about that, because some people really don't like switching and just would rather just play as adult, which is fine, you know, everyone has their preferences, but I quite like what they did with the party system games where you have to switch up fairly often to maximise your damage, because all the characters play quite differently as well, so it's nice to switch every now and then.
Leave it to me.
Ah, Durin, you missed. See, that one needs to be hit certain ways. Generally anything that looks armoured is going to need Durin to hit them. Anything that looks squishy, Adol. This is just telling us what we know from other games in the series, where if you just stand still, you'll heal. And then you can order them about with the right stick, I think it is. Yeah, so it's basically just attack or defense.
Find an opening. Focus on offense. Don't let him hit you. Let's get him.
So basically press left on the right stick to tell them to attack,
Don't let him hit you.
press right to tell them to defend. I'm going to rush through this area a little bit, which if you're playing this game you shouldn't. Kill everything, that's what these games are all about, they're all about grinding. But I want to get to the forest. Got a couple of flash moves in there. Yeah, this is, I think up to this point, the longest game in the series. All the others tend to be sort of like between sort of 5 to 12 hours, the previous games. And this one's like 20 to 25 if you want to do everything. I'm going to give that a wide berth because I think that is the that there. It's to milk a Fabros, and we don't want to do that, so I'm just going to ignore that. Because if you go too close to that, then it will trigger that event. And I really don't want to bother with that right now.
Leave it to me.
But yeah, as I was saying, it's a longer game than the rest of the ones up to this point. But it's still a pretty fast-paced action RPG. You can still do a lot of combat. And get knocked over by this damn thing. Durin, stop getting hit. Right, onwards to the forest. But yeah, you can move really fast through the map as well, especially if you're just dodging all the way through it, which is something you can do a lot in Ease 8 as well. And if you're running in Ease 8 and you jump, you can do like a big long jump, which is very... I'm getting ahead of myself. That's Ease 8, this is Ease 4. But we'll get there. I've found a centre of calm and serenity on the edge of the forest. Wait, is that? Spirit tree saplings. Monsters will never approach. I've heard that too, I think. It's on the tip of his brain. Let's get a camp set up. Now, if you've played Ys 8 and you haven't played any of the other games, which is pretty
All right.
reasonable suggestion, a lot of people had that as their first one. Some of this might look familiar to you, mapping out an uncharted territory, setting up camps, maybe having a vision at night. This does kind of feel in some ways like a kind of prototype for Ys 8, and then play Ys 8 and it feels like it takes bits from this and Ys 6 specifically. Obviously, like it's going to take bits from the whole series, but there's stuff specifically in 4 and 6 that it seems to take from. And vastly improve on, if you ask me. They're going to take the night off. Felt his body drift into a deep, relaxing slumber, but not for long. One of the memories sealed in the back of Adol's mind was restored. Adol's not going to get much sleep. It's a very ominous looking tower.
Hey,
Not for Adol. Adol described the memory he'd regained. Now, we don't have a narrator this time, which was something I think is only in Felghana. I think that tower's on the other side of the forest, Darren. Ooh, portentous. Upon reaching a camp for the first time, Adol will regain a memory, and nearby memory fragments will also be noted on the map. Upon entering the camp, fallen party members will be revived and all status effects cured. HP will also regenerate rapidly. Resting at a tent also charges the extra gauge to maximum, which is very handy. Especially if you know you've got a boss coming up. Into the forest! Water looks very sickly green, doesn't it? Lots of getting poisoned. Right, so if we check our map, time passes rapidly in the Great Forest. Beware its many lurking dangers. These are our status effects we can get, including Misfortune, which is kind of a weird one. Anyway, let's check our map, and we have a memory fragment nearby that has popped up. So we'll go and get that memory, and then we'll leave it there. Durin's immediately fallen into the weird water. These look like they need Durin to attack. Because they've got shells. Makes sense. There's our memory. Now, I think this is the first game that really sheds any kind of light on Adol's past and childhood and why he wanted to become an adventurer, which you will have heard or seen, I guess, at the beginning with the supposed historian talking about at what point he took on the mantle of adventurer. I think I said this in a previous video, but these games are supposed to be like retellings of adventures that Adol had throughout his life and he wrote journals about. And each one is supposed to be a specific book. And then it's supposed to be sort of like somebody looking back at these adventures of his. But they don't really seem to go too deep into that framing narrative for the most part. I think this is one of the only ones that really does. You're still a child, even though you have an enormous head. Merchant with all kinds of interesting stories to tell. Adults like, right, I'm having some of that. So as well as getting Adol's memories of the more recent past back, and we got strength increase for that. So I guess it's a different stat each time. I can't remember off the top of my head, I'm guessing it must be. But yeah, as well as like uncovering his memories of the very recent past and what's happened to him since returning to Kaznan, we also get some of his more pasty past. I couldn't think of a word there, I just completely blanked. Oh jeez, this guy looks like trouble. Yep, that's trouble. Alright, is this water poisonous? No, it's not. I obtained 30 coal. But yeah, this is basically the game. You just go around uncovering the map, trying to travel to new places, and fighting lots and lots of monsters. Oh my god, that's a big fish. Thought we could use that as a bridge, but apparently not. But anyway, this is Ys 4, Memory of Celceta. It's a good game. Like I said, it's not one of my favourite games in the series, but it does introduce some stuff I like. I do like. A lot of people don't like the party system. I do like the party system and switching characters and stuff. I also really like the flash move and flash card, which I think confused myself earlier, but I'm pretty sure Ys 7 was the first party game and this was the second one. But I like a lot of the gameplay stuff in the party system games. Ys 8 and 9 really refine it and make it very, very good. But this is, say this is a solid 6.5 game, 6.5 out of 10 game. It's a good time. If you're looking for a fast-paced action adventure, pick any of these Ys games, to be honest with you, they're all good games. We appear to have reached an impasse. So I'm going to leave it there for today and this episode. That is a quick look at Ys Memories of Celceta. Canonically the fourth title in the Ys series. Thanks for watching. I'm wondering why in the hell that tree trunk is breathing. I think it's supposed to look like it's rocking, but that's weird anyway. But yeah, thanks for watching. Come back next time for Ys 5, which is going to be a bit of a different one. And we'll see you then. Bye!